Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Cynthia Forde for St. Thomas.
Barbados, stand up. Tell me what you want. We want new government. Tell me what you want. Louder. Tell me what you want. Louder. Tell me what you want. Barbados Labour Party. Tell me what you want. Barbados, stand up. Barbados, stand up. Bring the change. Barbados Labour Party. Tell me what you want. B.O.P. Tell me what you want. B.O.P. Tell me what you want. B.O.P. Louder. B.O.P. Louder. B.O.P. New government.
A wonderful good night to this sea of red. Good night to everybody in Barbados. It seems as though nobody is home. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night to the dames in the crowd. In 2008, we came to a level in Barbados where Barbadians were given a glossy manifesto, but indeed, the contents of the manifesto would have attracted anybody who didn't use their head wisely. And the Dems became the government. They spoke about equity, accountability, transparency, fairness, good governance. And tonight, it is such a sad thing to say that we are worse off tonight in 2013 than we were in January 2008. But don't forget, the Democratic Labour Party made it clear in the 1990s that their manifesto is not a social contract. So they did not really and truly have to conform with the pledges that they made in their manifesto, but the Barbados Labour Party has, for all the times that we have written a manifesto, stuck to our guns. There were very few programs that we could not offer to the people of Barbados that we came back to you and told you in our promises and performance documents. We delivered for 14 years to the people of Barbados to empower you and you and you, the old, the young, the elderly, whoever, to make them have a safer and better quality life. I want to thank the Right Honourable Owen Seymour Arthur and his team of Barbados Labour Party members of Parliament, and indeed the civil servants and others who worked with us to deliver the various programs that we offered over the years. I smiled this evening when I sought to use the analogy of a woman in a domestic violence environment. That is where we are tonight, you know. The woman got beaten and she said, let me make her, I still love you. Tonight is Valentine's night, so good night to all. Beat, licks, I love you still. Mash up hand, break up foot, I still love you. But you know, at one point in time when that woman becomes so empowered and so worked up to understand this is damn foolishness. This man beating me and beating me, disfiguring my body. I have to get up and act. Tonight, you have been battered. You have been beaten. You have been bruised in your pocket, in your life, in everything you do. The Democratic Labour Party has inflicted on you blows like a man beating a woman in a domestic environment. The Barbados Labour Party will be the savior, like the battered women's environment, where the women are pulled away from the men and they are taught how to fend for themselves. They are taught how to do all the things that are important. I welcome you, all of you, Dems included, vote for the Barbados Labour Party. We will be your savior again. We were in 1994. In 1999, we showed you even more and gave you even better quality life. In 2003 and in 2008, you said, look, we're tired, we want to know. The people criticizing. And you went out and you did what you have to do. We respected that. But tonight, there's no way you could vote for the Dems again unless you want again the Undertaker hand. I have got so many friends. I have lost so many of my former students. I have lost so many individuals around me. You have lost your families as a result of the stressors that this government has put on them through the draconian measures that they introduced. You had it good on your own. Security at tenure, you became permanent employees. All like last week, the official gazette came home to me. Well, people working in the government who from since December 2007 should have had their appointments, they are now coming through. You know why? They felt they were Barbados Labour Party supporters. Too many of you were victimized because of your political support to this distinguished Barbados Labour Party that for more than 70 years we have shown you a different way. Our social policies and programs have helped to uplift Barbadians and put them on a plane where people down the Caribbean and the rest of the world wonder, how do you do it with limited natural resources? It is because of the leadership of the right excellent. Not yet. Not yet. Grantley Adams, Tom Adams, Bree St. John, Owen Arthur, and the rest of the team. And I can talk more so of the current situation under the right Honorable Owen Seymour Arthur, where we determine we will stop poor people from being poor by setting up the Rural Development Commission, the Urban Development Commission, poverty alleviation, and all those other projects in Barbados in the social and economic realm to make sure that you survive in the times that you have been serving in. And tonight I heard to see how my people are so hungry, to see how my people's houses are not being fixed, to see how roads in especially rural Barbados are deteriorating, all because a government that said there will be equity has determined that the constituencies that are represented by the 9 of us will all suck salt, member of parliament and people too. Tonight the Barbados Labour Party is going to serve every Barbadian across the length and breadth of Barbados and make sure that your needs are well taken care of. I heard the foolish talk about Owen Arthur don't go to parliament. I see him in parliament, so I don't know what you call that. But he has his own business to look after. I leave and go to funerals too. I leave and attend meetings otherwise. But we attend parliament. Nobody in the Dems have talked about when Mr. Barrow lost the government in 1976, went to the States and lectured to people for 6 months and left Sleepy to look after the affairs of Barbados as leader of the opposition. Where were the Dems then when Mr. Barrow went overseas to look after his own business? Owen did not go overseas to live. He did not go overseas to lecture anybody and stay away for 6 consecutive months. He is in Barbados looking after the needs of you and you and you and the people of St. Peter. He will do it again with your support and your guidance. I'm getting the lights. I'm going to wrap up. I heard the foolishness about privatization too. But I want you to be reminded that the idea of pensioners, with that stupid ad, the idea of pensioners being able to travel on the transport board buses for free came through from Tom Adams' time, and the Barbados Labour Party will never stop it again. It must go on. As I come to a close, I want you all to know that we care for people in education. Because an educated individual in any society has the power and the authority to chart their future. The Barbados Labour Party gave it to you in all those departments, the youth affairs, education, culture, you name it, and the social services. The Dems took it from you. Tonight I'm ashamed, old woman, that the University of the West Indies, $150 million and climbing dollars cannot be paid and brings Barbados' name to disgrace under a Democratic Labour Party that boasts about free education on the Arabara. You have to make the difference, ladies and gentlemen. We in the Labour Party will continue to expand the nursery the universal nursery education program so that our 3 to 5-year-old children who have the deficits when they get to the primary school would be able to settle socially and educationally. That is the most powerful aspect of education, because you're nurturing the babies so that when they get to the primary school, they already have a foundation. We, the Barbados Labour Party, are going to look at the technical and vocational skills. And I'm ashamed tonight that the over 200 persons enlisted in the program for the Barbados Technical and Vocational Skills Training Board, 14 out of 200 graduated this year. 14, this educational year, 14 out of 200. The Labour Party is going to arrest that and make sure that the youth develop skills, and they're going to do the CVQs and the MVQs that they can be matched with anybody else internationally. We're going to make sure that the remedial education programs are put back in place. Too many of our young children, especially our boys, are not reading well. We're going to do the diagnostic testing for hearing, for sight, for speech, and for vision, so that Barbadian children can take advantage of the quality education. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. And as Sleepy Smith said, if they don't perform, what are they going to do? Wesley from up there by me, my neighbor that used to curse me before, is now a big B. What Wesley said to do? The taxi man Brown, who works in the Royal Barbados Police Force Band from St. John, I saw him in the supermarket. I said, "What? But you hear your voice?" He said, "You hear my voice? I done with them. Kick them out. The vendors, the general workers, the taxi drivers, the policemen, the civil servants, every right-thinking Barbadian is saying, kick them out." The Barbados Labour Party is the better choice for the people of Barbados at this time. I implore you, I encourage you, go vote and vote in your numbers on February the 21st. Let us celebrate on February the 22nd when the Barbados Labour Party becomes your government. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless all of you.
Barbados, stand up! Tell me what you want! We want new government!